Moli Shani Wansei, welcome back or welcome to my channel if it's your first time here. My name is Tembi and today we're going to be talking about all things pattern, and so I'm going to be sharing some ideas. Let me move this back here so that way I have more room to be able to show you the imagery on the screen. But today I would like to give you some ideas on how you can incorporate different types of patterns into your space. So this is all about mixing patterns, and I hope that by the end of this video you're going to feel a lot more confident to be able to try this out, in case you're interested, in case you've always been on the fence over it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Now, the easiest way or easiest recommendation that I can give you when it comes to mixing patterns is to use similar tones, or to basically use the same color palette. So let's say you have a certain color in your couch, for instance, and it has a certain design on it. You can go with a completely different pattern in your throw pillows, and I think that that will look fantastic. Now, the good thing about being able to work with the same color palette in your patterns is that it gives you a sense of camouflage without really giving you camouflage. You get what I mean? So it's almost like how chameleons or animals in nature camouflage themselves. So I think that this is a really easy way for you to get started, and it will probably be the most universal for most people, because pattern can be pretty daunting when it comes to mixing it with more patterns. So that is probably the direction that I would go if I was starting out. Another direction that you can go is, in case, let's say you have a really loud pattern in a certain piece of furniture, or in your curtains, for instance, or even on your walls, then your secondary pattern could be a lot more muted. So let's try to stick to the same color palette so that it looks a lot more tasteful, and so that way the patterns aren't competing against each other. And I think that will allow your eye to even rest and take everything in really seamlessly. So if you're going with loud, then consider something a little bit more muted for your secondary pattern, and I think that that will look absolutely fantastic. And since we're heading in the direction where you are mixing something a little bit more striking with something muted, I think that if you choose animal print, which is often pretty striking, it usually works really well with so many different types of patterns. Adding a dash of animal print, I think, will just allow it to look a little bit more, I was going to say riveting. I think it will help to elevate your space, but also make it feel a little bit more daring, in my opinion. So this is a great way for those of you that are risk takers and would like to go a little bit louder or a little bit further with mixing patterns. And I think that that will look absolutely fantastic. So I'm thinking about leopard prints mixed in with floral patterns, or it could be a zebra print. I think that will look great with maybe a geometric type of pattern, or even something softer like florals as well. That will look really, really beautiful, and will give you that sense of playfulness as well, or intrigue rather. And since we're talking about geometrics, I would like to think that stripes work well with different types of patterns, because they are pretty classic in my opinion. It's very difficult. I mean, anybody can go wrong with anything or overdo it, but stripes, being really universal and classic, can be incorporated into different spaces and mixed with different types of pattern. I think that they work really well. And so do plaids, or be it the checkered plaid, do the same thing as well, because plaid, in my opinion, is pretty timeless and it's also pretty classic. And I think that it can work well with so many different types of patterns. So you have that option as well. I would like to see plaid in a piece of furniture, maybe even in a table, like a checkered plaid. I think that will be really beautiful to see. And then you can mix in a different pattern, be it in your throw pillows, or it could be in your couch or larger pieces of furniture, and that will look absolutely fantastic. Now I'm going to make sure that I give you some really good examples so that way you can envision or visualize what I'm talking about and really get to see the possibilities of being able to mix pattern tastefully. Let's move on. And then lastly but not least, as an honorable mention for the spring and summertime, it would be nice to actually mix different types of floral patterns together. For some reason, I feel like that just works really well, because in nature, when we have gardens, we do tend to mix different florals. And so how about we incorporate those into our spaces as well? So if you have a certain floral pattern either on your walls, like your wallpaper, or maybe in your curtains, then you could add a different floral pattern in your headboard, or it could be in your couch. And it could be an overlay, so it could be layered on top of each other. And I think that that would look really romantic and just really playful as well, and just really beautiful. So it reminds me of the English countryside. I think the British probably really like to mix floral patterns together. So that is that. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And I hope you all enjoy your weekend, and I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone.